Hello everyone, I'm Brian, welcome back. Let's go to continue.
Sadhguruji, my friend Smita told me that Isha Foundation in Coimbatore is a wonderful place to...
Don't believe what she says.
I believe in her. And she also educated me about the various courses you conduct there to benefit the body and mind and soul. My question is, so I am used to, know about the colleges right from my olden times. All the colleges, some schools, they practice the admissions to conduct in two kinds. One is donation, whoever can afford, and the other one is by merit. Now, my question is, what is the merit you see in a devotee or in an applicant to be able to join Isha Foundation courses without paying any nominal fee? It's not a complaint, but there must be some merit for some people. What is that merit? I want to define the merit.
See, if you want to get into an university, you're looking for a certain kind of competence. If you want to get into your school, a certain different kind of competence. But you want to get into spiritual process. So you must understand this, when it comes to individual bodies, they are differently capable. When it comes to individual minds, they're differently capable. When it comes to the inner dimension, all of us are equally capable. So because everybody has merit, they have to pay donation. Now now the thing is, there was a time when I experimented no donation programs. No donation, just come, free, we will do it. Even now there are many programs which are free. But now we have acquired a certain reputation, so people sit, but even now just see, those few people are walking up and down, they're leaving just now, okay? If they had paid 5,000 rupees, they wouldn't be leaving.
I'll say it this way, and it's very, very much true. I've heard this before, and I wouldn't doubt it to be true, and I do believe it to be true. It's the fact that if you do pay for something, you will tend to stick to it because you have skin in the game, as they say. Basically, you paid into it, you want to make sure you get your money's worth. So, that's kind of funny. Although it's kind of weird to say donation, it's like… I don't know what I mean by donation. Donation is generally speaking that you pay whatever you can, or however much you want. It's not required though. That's what makes it a donation. But the requirement is a payment of donation. Then it doesn't become a donation, it becomes a fee. So I'm just wondering what he means. Like maybe you have to pay something, but it's not a set amount. Maybe.
This is just a gossip session between you and me, so it's okay, they can go halfway through the gossip, no problem. But when I want to deliver a spiritual process, it costs my life. If I don't throw out my energy, it's not going to happen. With words, it's not going to happen. Ask people who have been through the programs, they get blown away. They're not getting blown away by nothing. Because it costs life. You have to throw your life into it. I don't want to throw my life at irresponsible people. And I've seen, unfortunately, it's still true for most human beings. If they say, I'm going to come for this program for 3 days, their word unfortunately is not good enough. In between, if they get a message, Sadhguru, I need to go, they'll say. So make them pay 15,000 rupees. They don't go.
You'll make time for sure.
There must be a cost, there must be
Yes. So all our initial programs, first 2 levels of programs, they must pay. But the third level of program, all the advanced programs, there are no fees. By then they have matured, then they are trustworthy. Once they say they will be there, they will be there. So after the second level of program, none of the programs have any fee.
And I get it, like, it's a psychological thing. It doesn't work for everyone, but I do believe it works for most people. Again, what was it? There's free programs online that I tried to learn, but because it's free, I had no skin in the game. It's like, I'll learn it later, and never did.
Sadhguruji, I have a dream.
You're beginning to look like Martin Luther King. Yes, I have a dream. Tell me.
This dream is in India, where all the marriages are happening either intercaste or interreligion,
Why?
mandatorily, so that after one generation or two generations, people will get confused or totally forget and totally leave it off to be able to know a person's caste. Because unfortunately, an XYZ is a sportsman or sportswoman, gets a medal from an Olympics or something. Immediately you go to Google and the maximum number of searches is XYZ which caste.
Really?
It's a fact, Guruji.
I don't think so.
It's a dire fact. The more number of searches will be for looking for the she or her, his caste. So to
Maybe they want to marry them.
Pardon me? So this is my dream, Sadhguruji. People should get confused.
Huh.
Everywhere it should be tangled with all intercaste things. Is it right? Will it happen?
This caste thing and I don't know, and racism almost seems the same to me. Almost, I think so. Only the reason why, and what I mean by this, let me say that, is the fact that the way to beat this thing is by children, future generations. So what I mean is that when you have racist people and then their children go to school together, like with say a racist couple have their children go to public school and their children interact with other races, and then when the children comes back home and they listen to their parents, like, you know, they say, oh, this race of people are bad, bad, bad. All of a sudden the child's like, I'm playing with them, but they're not bad. I'm confused. Why are they saying that they're bad when I'm having so much fun? It's one of my best friends. So two things can happen. Either the child does in fact take on continuing the tradition of racism, or the child will kind of have will be in a closet, you could say, where they'll just kind of play along with the parents, but in reality he knows that, or the child knows that it's not true what they're saying, that he can't believe, he loves his parents, or she or he loves his parents, but knows that, you know, they can't say that to their parents, but knows that the people that they're talking about is not true in any way. And same thing with the caste system. It's the fact that, you know, you have some children, hopefully they'll be played together and not realize there's such thing as a caste system, and then, you know, obviously the children can take on that perception of like, oh, I'm a higher caste than someone else, and then shun away. It's like, oh, I'm better than you. Or maybe going there's like, yeah, I don't care though, they're my good friend, I'm gonna just again pretend like I'm this higher class and pretend like I'm not associating with these lower class, but in reality just mingling with them and having fun and just being a genuinely good friend. You know, so that's how I think most problems will get solved. It's kind of through children, because when they interact with things that contradict what their parents have said, they themselves will learn firsthand experience on the reality of the real world. So if a parent says that's bad, but whenever they go do something about that, it's like, this is not bad at all. Why is my parent saying this? And then hopefully their children will realize that, you know, that their parents were wrong, or their parents aren't, how to say, you know, have kind of this bad thought. I don't know, I don't want to say like racism or casteism or sexism or whatever isms are out there. So, and what was it? I've seen a few examples of that on YouTube again with, I believe it's the most racist family in America. I believe that's what the series is called. One child left the family and realized that, you know, what they've been preaching all this time is so wrong, and I believe she realized that, you know, there are bad people out there, duh. But not everyone is bad. Bad people happens on all races and all sexes. Bad is not exclusive to any race or any sex, and she'll realize that. She still loves her parents and stuff, but she knows that they're wrong about this particular idea, and it kind of sucks. But I think their parents maybe shun her away, but she still tries to connect with her sisters and siblings to try to open up their eyes and hope that they can see past what their parents have indoctrinated them with.
I don't like anything intercaste. Because first of all, when I meet people, it never even occurs to me what caste they are. So I don't know how to do intercaste, I only see human beings. So when you must understand this. This is a misunderstanding which has led into a discriminatory process. This is just a differentiation we did in the society at one time. When there were no schools, when there was no university, then when there were no engineering colleges, IITs and business management schools, all this. Now, if you are born in a blacksmith's house, the only school is your father and your uncle who are doing tonk, tonk, tonk every day, that's your school. That's where you learn your skill. So when you want to get married, suddenly if you marry a goldsmith's daughter, okay, she doesn't know what to cook for you, she doesn't know how to manage this house for you, she doesn't know how to give you firewood or coal or what you need. So they said, if you're a blacksmith, you marry only blacksmith's daughter because it will be supportive. But today you may be coming from a blacksmith caste, but you may become a doctor, you may become an engineer, you may become something else. So that process is not relevant anymore. At a one time to preserve the knowledge base, because that was the only training ground available. See, suppose you marry a princess and bring her to agricultural family, tomorrow morning she has to go with you and carry food for you, she will not. It'll not work for you. So they said, if you are in the farm, you must marry a farmer's daughter, you don't marry somebody else. But today, you are going all over the place and doing whatever you wish, accordingly they will marry. I don't think you need any mandatory laws. You just watch it in 25 years, it'll be very hard for you to figure out who is who. At the same time, I must tell you, these differences are also beautiful because unfortunately certain people make our differences into discriminations. Unfortunate. But differences are beautiful. I walk into some home in United States, in any home if I go, Indian homes, first thing you enter their home, the cooking smell will be all over the house. It will actually, when you're driving in only, you will smell it. When I smell it, I'm in, San Francisco area, I walk into this house and I sit down and they're all, been in United States for more than 40–45 years.
Oh, okay.
Children are all totally American. Then I ask, are you Pillai? They said, Sadhguru, how do you know? I said, the seasoning that you're doing is Pillai seasoning, I know, my nose knows, this is Pillai seasoning. I'm saying these subtle differences were so beautiful that each one of us, our own way of cooking, our own way of language, the way we speak, the way we do things, it's fantastic. But unfortunately, when you make it discriminatory, it becomes ugly. If you can take away the discrimination and keep the differences, how beautiful it is. No society in the world, no society in the world has these fine distinctions. People live on the same street for generations, but still this home will cook like this home will cook the other way. How beautiful it is. But this is completely gone because now everybody is trained on Google. The same avkai from Krishna district, Godavari district, Telangana, Andhra, is it not different? Distinctly different. All these subtleties you want to take it away and make it one McDonald's food, okay? No, I think that is an ugly world. These subtleties, these differences are fantastic. We are a colorful culture because of these differences. But, but the problem with human mind is, unfortunately, a goldsmith thinks he is superior to the blacksmith. Though you can very easily live without a goldsmith, but you can't live without a blacksmith. So this discriminatory thing, we must take it away. I must take this opportunity and tell you this. People are always asking me, Sadhguru, what is your advice for our children? As if children need anybody's advice. Without figuring out how to raise children, you delivered children, so you're the one who needs advice. So, when when I was traveling in 90s and things, my daughter was a small infant, 3.5, 4 months, she was traveling with me alone in the car. My left hand on her and driving through, my right hand is always on the floor, so my right leg is always on the floor. So I drove like this, wherever I go, I hand her over to some family and they took care of her well. But there is a problem. Every adult is very eager to teach something to a child. The moment they see child, they get this itch, they want to teach something that's not worked in their life. Yes, because if it had worked, they should be more joyful and more exuberant than the child. It is obviously not worked, whatever they learnt. Maybe they learnt a few tricks of how to make money, how to survive in the world, but they learned nothing about life compared to the child. So I made one rule, nobody will teach her anything. No 1, 2, 3, no ABC, no Mary had a little lamb, because I don't care whether Mary had a lamb or not. So, one thing happened, because nobody taught her anything, she was all ears, all the time like this, looking at everything because nobody tells her anything. By the time she's 18 months, she could speak 3 languages fluently. And I also made this rule that I never teach her anything. So when she was 12, 13 years of age, one day she came to me. She was disturbed about something that happened in the school, and she came home and said, "You're teaching everybody so many things, but you're not teaching me anything." I said, "Well, I'm not given to teach people unsolicited. Now that you've come, this is all you need to know. Never look up to anybody." She looked at me like this, "What about you?" I said, "Even me. Because if you look up to me, you will miss the value of who I am. Maybe you will hang me on your wall, that is not why I am here. If you look at me just for who I am, your life will be immensely benefited and energized. If you look up to me, you will hang me somewhere in your house. So do not look up to anybody, do not look down on anybody, this is all. This is all it takes. This is not simple. Because all the time your mind is saying, oh, she's good, he's not good, he's okay, he's not okay, this is fine, that is fine, this is pure, this is impure, this is God, this is devil, this is going on endlessly. If you stop this one thing and simply look at life for what it is, you will effortlessly navigate your way through life.
Man, I had some things to say, but I didn't want to interrupt Sadhguru there. Man, something about the blacksmith and goldsmith. Anyways… Oh, there is something like that in the United States to some degree, like a caste system, kind of. It's more along the lines of money, though. It's not very prevalent, but it does exist. I'm sure of it. Again, it's kind of hard to point at it exactly, but it does exist, and that is generally speaking to like the very rich people who are very arrogant. This exists in all of, I'm sure, all of civilization. They're very rich. There's always going to be people out there that are very rich, that are very spoiled. The children are very spoiled and they're rotten. But again, it does exist in the United States, probably along the lines of Beverly Hills or California, generally speaking. But there's kind of a class system, but based on money and income, middle class, upper class, and all that. It's just kind of, it's not really meant as a separation, though. It's more along the lines of just where you fit in a income category. But I will say this in terms of arrogant rich people, they think themselves to be better than other people. So again, these are probably not necessarily like exist in terms of like I guess true caste system, but there are just a-holes out there that believe they're better than people because their parents made it off rich and they're spoiled rotten brats. um, and what's the next thing? About teaching the children. I said there's something that I said before that Sadhguru said. I can't remember what it is anymore. So, anyways, we continue.
Very well said, Sadhguruji. Now, since it's time to take a few questions from our friends here, they are very enthusiastic. I have to sacrifice my question
paper.
Yes.
Question paper.
Anybody?
Yeah. Namaste Sadhguruji. This is Satish Pendiala. And
కొంచెం బ్రైట్గా మాట్లాడండి.
yeah, sure అండి. Dharma Sankat versus societal constraints. How to balance these two?
What is that? Dharma Sankat.
Dharma,
Which-
emotions.
Oh, dharma is emotion for you.
I mean, true emotions, divine emotions versus societal constraints. How to balance these two in life of confusion?
Would not know how to answer that because I don't know what it means.
There is a lot of mess up in the question itself.
Uh-oh.
There are no divine emotions.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Emotions are human.
Mhm.
Even animals are capable of emotion. You have a dog at home? Yeah. Does it have emotions? Lot of emotion. But you don't know whether God has emotion or not. Do you know? Hello? Then why are you saying divine emotion?
Yeah, I don't know.
Human emotion you're talking about. It's just that you
So
think your emotions are divine. This is a serious problem.
Also, I don't know about the social constraints either. What does he mean by that?
You must understand your thought and emotion are just your psychological drama. You can conduct it whichever way you want. So I'm asking you, if you had a choice of having either nasty emotions, miserable emotions or blissful emotions, what would you choose for yourself? Please choose right now, I'll bless you. Because that's all you have to do. Anyway, they're your emotions. You have to choose what should happen within you, isn't it? But you are talking as if it's happening to you from somewhere. Your thought and emotion and whatever else happens within you happens within you. It doesn't happen from somewhere else. You may be taking a stimuli from somewhere else, but the source of what happens is happening within you. Your psychological drama, మీరు film direct చేస్తారండి?
నేను మ్యూజిక్ చేస్తాను.
Music మాత్రం. Your drama, you must be the director. If you have a lousy drama going, it's because you're a lousy director, that's all. Yes, that's all it is. You think it's something else. No, you're just a lousy director. You just have to learn the art of directing your drama well. ఏం చెప్తారు? So, please manage the drama well, make the drama into a beautiful drama because there is only one wealth in your life. Listen to me carefully. There is only one wealth in your life. Things that you wear, things that you stored up, this is not your wealth, this is just a headache. The only wealth that you have in your life is the profoundness of your experience of this life. How profound is it? Is it profound enough that every moment is overwhelmingly beautiful for you, or is it a lousy drama that's going on? If you have a lousy drama going in your head, don't blame your family, your God or your dog. It's just that you're a bad director, you just have to fix that.
The next one.
I'll rephrase what Sadhguru here said because I know what Sadhguru was getting at, but I don't know if I get what he's saying, but I don't know if it's something that is can be kind of universally understood. But if you understood it, that's great and fantastic. If you don't, maybe this will help. Essentially, that your body, your emotions, your chemicals, you have control over that to a degree. I'm not saying that you can stop the hold on, what's the bad emotions? Anyways, you have some control over that, and you can allow your body to affect you. But do you control your body, or does your body control you? Sadhguru has said this before, and I think that was a great example, but he didn't say it this time around. So basically, when someone makes you mad, they're just saying words. Your body is reacting to that, but it's your body, your emotions, and you have, I don't know what's going with 3 with that one, but you have control over yourself. Don't get me wrong, you're not going to be perfect. No, not a lot of people are perfect with controlling their emotions, but when you understand that it's happening, you're like, okay, I'm angry, and I shouldn't be, maybe perhaps saying anything, because you need to control your emotions. I'm not saying, bottle it up or anything, but do understand that when people are very emotional, they can make irrational choices, irrational words that could cause more harm to you than you realize, because, mind you, you saying things can hurt them too. And if they're not looking at their emotions the same way as you are, if they're your boss, they could fire you. If they're someone that's bigger than you, they could punch you or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, they may not be trying to control their emotions. They may be just letting their emotions run rampant. But hopefully you realize that you have control over your body. Maybe not completely, and that's perfectly fine. But when you understand that your emotions are running rampant, perhaps, you realizing that could make you like, okay, I need to stop, I need to calm down, or do something else. Because being emotional makes you sometimes irrational, and you may not be making the best decisions in your life. So at the very least, when you have that understanding, you can make rational decisions so that you don't put yourself in a more compromising position or get yourself fired from a job because you got emotional and you want to retaliate or in some way, and could end up making the situation worse. And then instead of, like, maybe later on your boss comes back and says, look, I'm sorry, I just got, my emotions got the better of me, where you said, like, my emotions are coming up, let me just step away real quick. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but it is something to work at.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I'm
Kudu
here.
Norma, okay.
So we have solutions to revitalize the rivers, but what is the solution to remove the existing plastic wastage?
Oof.
There's a lot of it in India or anywhere.
Yeah.
So what are the solutions to remove that?
I don't know if Sadhguru would know this, but I'd be pretty amazed. Now, again, I don't know what Sadhguru would say here, but I do remember seeing something somewhere, somewhere in the ether. There's, I think, a group that has this microorganisms that actually break down or eat plastic. I think they break it down to where it doesn't take us long for it to be broken down back into the soil. I think that's fantastic. Now, what is the solution now? I don't know. I've not heard of anything. One great thing, instead of like what Europeans, sorry, what people in the West have done, which is just bitch and complain and glue their hands to the ground and to the spilling soup into pitchers, actually get into the freaking field and do something about it. Again, I go back to the one lady. She's very much an inspirational. It's one of the talks with Sadhguru where she says that she goes to villages and tries to help them out and trying the best that she can. And then, she talks to Sadhguru. It's like, I've been going here. I need some help. Do you have some kind of help to help this village grow? And Sadhguru says, yes, come talk to me later on. We have programs that can help you out and help the village. I do remember it being something along those lines. And I think it's the talk with the infamous person that really hated Sadhguru in that one video. So I think most people know about that person. But I think it's in that video. But she was amazing. Anyone who knows there's a problem tries to fix it and then tries to see if there's any way to improve upon it. I get it. She's just one person, but she's trying and she's doing something about it. Whereas you see so many of these stupid idiot people who block the road, who causes these cars to burn more gas because they're trying to stop them from using oil, but instead they're making it worse because they're stopping these cars. They're idiots, and just complain. Complain is the only thing to do. They say, we did it great, boys. We made them burn more gas, which is what we're trying not them to do. So I don't know if this is working out, actually. You know, we say we want to stop oil, but we're making them burn more of it. Not exactly a great plan. Instead of them going into the fields of science and trying to find a solution for that. I'm sorry. I get passionate sometimes with stupid people. I say that because their logic doesn't make much sense to me. It's like you want them to stop the oil, but you're making these cars burn more. How does that work exactly? You are just making more enemies instead of trying to find an actual genuine solution.
See, plastic is a miraculous material.
Yeah, it is.
Let's understand this. All the plastic warriors, please listen to me carefully. Plastic is a miraculous material. It's one of the most fantastic materials that human beings have created. The problem is not of plastic, the problem is of human irresponsibility. So that's what we need to fix. If we generate a more responsible population, plastic is a wonderful thing. How many things in our lives have become easy and wonderful because of plastics? But we think plastics are bad. Plastics are not bad. Plastic is a wonderful, fantastic material. Human beings have become irresponsible. Let's fix that. But the damage that's already done, please understand, all the damage that we have done in the form of pollution, it is not very difficult to fix. It just needs determined political action and responsible action from the citizens of this country and the world, which can be done.
Sure.
But the more serious problem is the depletion of resource. Depletion of soil and water is a far more serious problem and much more difficult to revitalize. You are saying, okay, we will revitalize the rivers. It's not as simple as that. But removing the plastic is not really a big problem. If we have a project to remove that, first you get Hyderabad city responsible enough that they don't throw plastics all over the place. Then you will see removing it is just a matter of 1 month or 2 months. The entire Telangana, whatever plastic, we can remove it in a 2 months' time. What do you say, Visweswar? First stop throwing it. You stop that, removing it will happen in 2 months and we can recycle the plastic. It's a very useful material. A material that does not deteriorate is not against you. This means you can use it 1,000 times. Anything that you can use 1,000 times over means we are not going to exploit other resources unnecessarily. So plastic is a solution for environmental problems that we have. But unfortunately, we have made a solution into a problem.
Okay. I will say this though about the plastics and kind of the thing, like I talked to one of my coworkers, and was saying America is very wasteful. And I was like, yeah, I get it, but there's a problem with that. That the fact that the reason why America is wasteful is because of the government regulations of hygiene. Well, hygiene, let's just put it that way, and food safety and all of that. So, for example, I've said this before on this channel where there are certain gas stations that would, make certain donuts or breads or foods or something, and what they don't sell, they have to throw it away. The reason for that, now again, fact check me absolutely 100%, but I wouldn't doubt this to be true, is because if they sell something that's a little bit past its prime, perhaps it's prime or it's whatever the government set by the FDA, they can get sued for that. The gas company, whoever makes it and sells it, if it goes a little bit past the date, they have to throw that away. Because if they sell that and someone gets sick, whoever sold that can get sued. The companies don't want that. So they kind of have to throw it away and be wasteful because of that. So it's kind of like a, I don't want to say a win-lose situation. I don't know what it is. It's they obviously the company that makes that don't want to waste it because that's just money being thrown in the garbage. But then they can't sell it because if someone gets sick by it, they can get sued and lose a lot more money. So obviously, capitalist business will try to maximize their profit. So they're trying to find a nice median where okay, we sell 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, and 5 here, and 20. It's like, okay, we make 20, 20, 25, and 20. That way, they sell exactly the amount that they make. But it doesn't always work out that way. Then about plastics. You look at candies and certain foods where they're individually wrapped in plastic. Because, again, safety. Could you imagine, I don't know, I guess I don't know how to describe it, but just imagine things that are individually wrapped that are just all in cardboard boxes, and all of a sudden you grab them, it's all it's like icings and stuff are like all sticking to the cardboard box, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's a mess. So the plastics, those individual little plastics, are kind of what makes it kind of preserves the food and also keeps it safe, because it's kind of sealed and germs can't get to the food easily. The plastics kind of seal the job. Cardboard can't really do that. And then the last thing is the fact of recycling plastics. I don't know. I've not heard too many places that can recycle plastics. Certain plastics I heard that can, but then certain plastics that can't. So that's going to be kind of the thing, you know. And you look again, one real quick thing about doctors, how they put on a new pair of gloves when they go visit a patient, then they remove them when they're done. They go to another patient to put in new gloves. So it's being very wasteful, but it's hygiene again. So you grab a paper towel or something, and you wipe off the plate, the whatever it is, you have to throw it away. You can't reuse it. Me personally, I try to find things that I can reuse multiple times over, because I can't afford to keep buying something that I throw away. That's just money in the bin. If I can reuse it, if I can find a way to make it reusable, I will. But obviously, I won't do it if it costs at the cost of health and stuff. So I'm not gonna spray chemicals on the counter, wipe that, and then wipe it on your face, or let me clean my spray the chemicals on the screen that kills germs. You wipe that. It's like, oh, let me clean that too, and then start eating with it. You know, obviously I won't be doing that, but it's just kind of like you can't obviously reuse, so you have to go grab a new rag for cleaning your forks and plates. But then again, you're using more product.
Namaste Guruji. Last 20 years I was boggling with one of the problem in my mind regarding understanding what is right and what is wrong.
Oh.
And I just to tell you that to give a solution for a given problem, I just wanted to say this. Actually, there were two railway tracks. One is live and the other one is abandoned. There was a board also. There were 10 children playing on the tracks. Seeing that abandoned board, one girl child told to other students, let us not play on the live track so that we will be hit by the running train. Let us play on the abandoned track. But nobody had. But this girl who has advised gone and playing on the abandoned track, all other 9 children were playing on the live track. There was a speeding train is approaching them.
Oh no.
Now the driver has to decide which track he has to run the train. This was the question asked to me by 20 years back, one of my friend. Today also, I really do not understand what answer I have to give it to him. Kindly.
This is a very infamous problem I've heard. I think may have been said one more time in this channel in a video, but it's the train track kind of. I forgot what it's called. Essentially, the train track problem goes along the lines of, you're standing by a little device that either puts the train on track 1 or track 2, for example. It's not live or dead. Just if it's left, it goes to track 1, or if you pull it to the right, it goes to track 2. Say it's on track 1, and you're observer. You see a train going. And all of a sudden, you look down the track. You see, oh, there's 12 people there, and then on the track 2, there's only one. Do you pull the lever? In which case, you would cause the train to go to track 2 and kill one person. But if you do nothing, then it'll go to track 1 and kill 12. What do you do? There's so many different answers for me on that one. I have so many different answers because there's so many different possibilities and so many different ways to think about it. But if you want to know my answers, leave a comment down below saying, hey, I want to know your answers. Otherwise, I'm going to continue with this video. I want to know what Sadhguru says.
Anyway, for your information, the driver cannot decide which track to go upon. It is the operator, the traffic manager who decides which track it will go on. Because it's not about… the train is not there for this one child or 9 children on the track. The train is made for those who are traveling in the train, the 1,000 people who are traveling in the train. Driver's responsibility is for them. Those who play on the track, on the road, it is their individual responsibility to preserve their lives. Of their children, that's a different matter. I must tell you this. When I was training to get my license and even after that, when I fly helicopters in United States, I was flying with my instructor. Tennessee, where our center is a fabulous country. It's Appalachian Mountains and beautiful rivers and streams.
State, not country.
So we like to fly just 10 feet above the river, all along the valley. It's fantastic rides. When we are doing this, I asked, suppose we crash into the river, what are the rules? He said, it's your problem. You want to crash into the river, you can crash into the river. But what are the rules? He said, the rules are just this. If you leave oil slicks in the water, they will charge your insurance or they will confiscate your property. But you want to kill yourself, it's up to you.
Whoa.
Okay? If you crash a helicopter in United States on an abandoned piece of land, you don't harm anybody's property or person, then you don't even have to report. Do you understand? Only if you damage some property, they will come after you. If you just crash and damage your helicopter, it's up to you. I'm saying it is time that in India also, everybody is made to understand your life, your well-being is your responsibility.
Okay, let me translate that from my understanding. If you do this in your own property, it reminds me of what my friend said. When you buy a car, you have to have a license plate and a driver's license to drive on public roads. Without that, you cannot drive on public roads. But you can drive your car without a driver's license or driver's license or a plate, license plate. If you drive on your own property, they're not going to stop you. And if you crash in your own property, if you crash into your own property, that's say like your car, you crash into another car that's yours, you don't have to report it. It's because it's yours. But if you crash into someone else, that's a bit different. If you take that car outside your property, if they catch you, you will obviously get fined for without a driver's license or a license plate, and your car will more than likely be towed. So in your own property, if something happens, it's up to you. But of course, there are still certain regulations in terms of like if you catch something on fire, maybe depends on how bad it is. But not thinking too much into that because I don't know the laws on that. I don't know most of the laws, but I know in your property you can do a lot of things. Again, like driving a car even though you don't have a license, driver's license.
We think government has to take care of us. This has to go. It has to go. Every human being, every citizen should see that my life is my responsibility. Well, when a speeding train is coming, you want to run across the track and somebody else has to stop you. Why? You're testing your horoscope or what? A lot of people on the road, that's what I think. I think they're testing their horoscope, because their horoscope they say they will live till 85. When a car or a bus is coming at full speed, they run across. They're testing it, whether it's really true or not. But what you don't understand is the railway track and the road is built for the vehicles or the trains which go on it, not for you to walk on it. For walking, there must be another place. If there is no place, it's for you to demand from the government, there must be a walking place for me, that I don't have to walk on the road. Instead of that, you walk on the road and now you come up with these hypothetical philosophical questions. There is no philosophy in this. We are… if anybody plays on the railway track, the children, they may not know, but the parents who produce these children, they need to be arrested immediately. They must be. So because you can produce children and throw them on the streets, they're going on doing it endlessly. We've multiplied 4 times in 70 years. It is time that what you produce also is your responsibility. Once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. If you're not ready for it, don't have them. Amanda?
Sadhguruji,
Okay, before the next question. So yeah, again, what again, it's a train track question, and it's very interesting. It's been… I don't know how old it is or anything like that, or where it started from, but it's also being used in terms of AI as well, to perhaps give AI a justification for what it needs to do when it does need to make that happen. So, for example, we're getting self-driving vehicles. So if if the self-driving vehicle can't stop and it has to run over people, it needs to find out whether that 90-year-old old man or the 20 babies are worth running over or not. Because the train question goes into that too, where it's like, you know, there's a baby on one side, there's a 90-year-old man, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna run over the 90-year-old man, he's already lived this life. So he asked that question as well, whether he's like, why do you run over the 90-year-old man? And you put your justification there. It's a very interesting thing, and it's, I don't know, scary maybe, because it's like, why are we justifying killing people? Again, no, you know, if you want to know, let me know in the comments.
చాలా కఠినంగా ఉందని చెప్పి
లేదండి. But Sadhguruji, one thing I want to tell you,
నా తెలుగు బాగుందా?
with all the
So
with all the enlightenment you gave, with this wonderful experience.
వాళ్ళు ఆర్మీ వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడున్నారు, వస్తారా?
ఎవరండి?
ఆర్మీ వాళ్ళు మనం పిన్న వెనకలో ఉన్నారా? వచ్చారు కదా,
వచ్చారు.
మీరు క్లోజ్ చేయాలండి.
With this wonderful experience and whatever I gained from this wonderful conversation with you, Sadhguruji, I go home and try to compose more beautiful tunes, so that next time you see my face, you remember me only by those tunes, but not by a horoscope and anything else.
I have not heard much of your music, Andy, but one music that you produced, that Jatadaraya, that one, we still use in many of our programs, and many people who have done the programs, they immensely enjoy that. So, thank you very
I'm
much.
blessed, Guruji,
Keep
Sadhguruji.
making good
I'm honored.
music.
I'm honored.
మీరు ఏదో పాడొచ్చు కదా, ఏదో ఒకటి పాడొచ్చు కదా పాట.
Actually, I thought of making Sadhguruji sing my tune. Sadhguru, you want to… can you please sing my tune?
putting Sadhguru on the spot.
You've already mic. Whatever you like.
I am not a musician. I don't know any raga tala. నేను పాడేకి నాకు ఏ రాగమో ఏమి తెలియదండి, సిగ్గు లేదు నాకు, అందుకు పాడతాను.
Sadhguruji, మీరు సిగ్గు పడరు. సిగ్గు లేదు మీన్స్ ఇట్స్ డిఫరెంట్ మీనింగ్ సార్. మీరు సిగ్గు పడరు.
ఏంటది?
సిగ్గు పడరు.
What is that? Did I say something wrong? Thank you.
Some lines, a few lines for us, Sadhguruji.
I should sing? Vastavatide Potavatide Asayandu Kanta Chesina Karmamu Chadani Padarthamu Cherunumi Vanta Setilo Amritamu Unnanta Sepe Anadam Mulanta Agadam Pai Poye Nadu Yevaruraru Venta.
All right. So I don't really have much else to say other than that. I think I said everything I wanted to say. It's a pretty long video already. Good lord, I didn't think it would be this long. I had a lot to say apparently. Anyways, I guess there's nothing else I need to say, honestly. So that's it. That's the end of this one. If you like more content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.